Jagan present. Kavirasu.
Present, sir.
Kavirasu.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Kavirasu not came, right?
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Okay, sir. Sweta.
Present, sir.
Kirtika present.
Present, sir.
Mikyas absent. FGP present.
Sir, Sharat Kumar joined, sir.
Okay, pa. So Mikyas only absent today then. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience, pa. The exam has been completed on delay, so that is what our classes has been postponed. Okay, I'm going to put in share mode. What I'm called Mikyas Films. So yesterday we have left where we have left on yesterday. Different phases of construction project. In different phases of construction project, we have seen about the client, contractors, consultant, construction process. Well, we have completed. Bid also we have completed. So responsibilities of contractor. Two slides we have completed. From this we can start. So responsibilities of contractor. He is responsible for providing all of the material, labor, equipment, such as engineering vehicles and tools. In some companies, according with that contractual agreement, the contractor has to provide the vehicles like what we can say that JCB, Bookline, other load carrying vehicles and all arranged by the contractor itself. According with the contractual agreement, the contractor has to provide the vehicles and tools. So services necessary after completing the construction projects, they has to do some services up to 1 year or 3 years. That also be in the contractual agreement. General contractor hires specialized subcontractors to perform all or portions of the construction work. So that means in big companies and all, big general contractors will be there. So they has to be choose some subcontractors for their big size of works. They has to consider about health and safety. That means those who are working under to the contractor maybe subcontractor maybe for them they have to take some necessary they has to take some necessary arrangements for the particular health and safety. For example, in the construction industries, the laborers may be a carpenter, barbender, HVAC persons. They has to wear the personal protective equipment. Daily wages itself, some amount they has to be take for their health and safety considerations also. Responsibilities may include applying for building permits, securing the property, providing temporary utilities on site, managing personnel on site. So these are also other responsibilities to the contractors. Building permits, they have to get the building permits, then securing the properties, In contractor side also, security persons will be there. They has to be taken care of the properties, and they're providing temporary utilities on site. Temporary utilities in the sense the laborers rest areas. Other than that, labor camps will be there. That is also being the outside of the site. Then managing personnel on site. In contractor side also, engineering divisions will be there. That also taken care of the contractors. The contractor may be if the client may be a German company or a France company, the contract may be L&T or some other companies may be L&T Soba Developers may be coming under into the contractor sides. So they also having some professionals. That professionals has to be managed by that particular contractors companies. Providing site surveying and engineering. With the contractor side, they has to do the site surveying. The site surveying usually we are doing through the dumpy level, theodolite. Then other than that, total station also we can do for the site surveying and engineering. So usually when we doing the site surveying, the road map has to be measured. The temporary benchmark has to be shifted to the site. From that benchmark level itself, we have to do the levelings and all. So then after that, setting out the site setting out, we have to be mark it. That means the contractor engineering division has to be marked. After making the setting out, the grid pillars has to be marked in the x-axis and y-axis. According to that grid line, the concrete pillars has to be constructed, and from the concrete pillar itself, we can use the theodolite or dump level or total stations. We can take the leveling measurements. We can do the leveling measurements, and we can do the footing marking. In the footing in the PCC marking itself, we can mark the column marking through the total station. So likewise, the contractor engineering company has to do work in the constructions. So contractor means don't think only they will do the labor supply. They can do the engineering works also. So if the company, that is what I am giving the example. If the company is the France company or German company, their contractor may be L&T or Soba Developers or any etc. companies. So they are also taking care of the engineering works only. So according to that contractual agreement, they are doing the work in the construction. Disposing or recycling of construction waste. So disposing or recycling of construction waste is very important sector. So nowadays this domain is getting boom. For example, the debris concrete has to usually the debris concrete has to shift to some other debris area. From the debris area itself. From the debris area itself, they has to be crush the concretes in the crusher. After the crushing that debris concrete, you have to be sieve it. From the sieving particles itself, we have to determine the fineness modulus. So whatever we are doing for concreting work, no, the fineness modulus for what you are using, the sieve sizes and all you are using, right? 4.75 mm, then 2.25 mm, 1.18, 1 like that, 150 micron, 75 micron pan, like that. The sieve size has been you are using the fineness modulus, right? Likewise, after debris getting into crushing process, again you have to do the sieve analysis. From that also, the fineness modulus you can test it like that. So many processes it's in the recycling areas. So I am giving example. So the sieves is whatever I have discussed, we just cross check with it. So for finest models of aggregates, course aggregate, you can check with the IS 383 1970. Also, you can check it. The previous also some codes are there. So without code, you should not do any testing. So for coming semesters, you will do some testing works. So whatever the testing you are going to do, right? So without IS code, you should not do any test. Without proof, you should not do any test. Without proper manual, you should not do any test. So according to that manual only, you have to do the test. So where you have referred also, you have to mention in your project book. So I have told about debris of concrete. Likewise, steel bars will be there. Wasted steel bars will be there. That also to be collected to the debris yard. From that only it sent to some recycling companies or some other areas. Through that again we can produce the materials. So that is what we are disposing the waste materials, the debris yard. From the debris yard, it should be collected to some recycling companies, like that. Then monitoring schedules and cash flows. So contractor engineering company has to monitor the schedules and cash flow. So the client work is that they will be cross check it. So what are the works are going on, and which this day how much works are completed, next week how much work going to complete. So whether the progress is going proper or not, only they will be checked. But the contractors has to be checked very deeply. So very micro level will be done by the contractor engineering company only. Macro level only checked by the client side. So you may ask, right? So that is what I am telling the practical things. Otherwise you will be confused. Yeah, that is what I am telling the fact. Then maintaining accurate records. So in the construction itself, the contractor company has to maintain the accurate records. So through daily progress report, they has to be collect the records. So always the contractors, if the project is very big, surely they have some subcontractors. So the contractors engineering company has to collect the daily progress report from their respective engineers. Not only the daily progress report. Um, in the contract engineering company having the stores, right? In the store itself, whatever the issuing the materials, they has to be track and record. Then vehicle entries has to be trapped in the watchman cabin itself. So these are the examples for the maintaining accurate records. So joint venture project. Usually, a joint venture is a business agreement in which the parties agree to develop for a finite time a newly entity and new assets by contributing equity. So joint venture usually, for example point of view, joint venture is nothing but the land may be the land may be carried by one owner. The cost will be provided by another one owner. So according with that mutual understanding, they can create the joint venture. So they can prepare their shares and all. So a joint venture is a business agreement in which the parties agree to develop for a finite time a new entity and new assets by contributing equity. So the cost may be one owner, the cost may be given by one owner, the place may be given by one owner, land may be given by one owner. Some finance, some amount, some finance will be given by one owner. So according with their categories, they will do some equity in that project. So that is also coming under in the joint venture project. They exercise control over the enterprise and consequently share revenues, expenses, and assets. When two or more persons come together to form a temporary partnership for the purpose of carrying out a particular project, such partnership can also be called a joint venture where the parties are co-venturers. Topographic view, it helps to locate the NSL with the MSL reference. So that is like MSL is a mean sea level. The for topography survey, always the benchmark has to be rougher. Then clearing and grubbing process occur on the natural surface level. NSL is nothing but there is the natural surface level. Then to achieve natural ground level, the compaction of NSL is carried out. FDT, field density test of the soil, is then took place, which is the compaction of embankment layers, and this test is done for each layer separately. So the soil samples has to be collected from the site, and it has to carried out with the field density of the soils. The soil layers has to be studied in the field density test. Problems faced by the contractor during construction. There might be a number of problems. Example, strikes. Already we have discussed a few of the points here. Strikes, then shortage of fuel. So sometimes due to the obsolescence of the equipment, sometimes the fuel, that means what we can tell, the fuel need more for the vehicle. So that means they can't predict it. That means sometimes according to their work pressure, they're not able to service the equipments like that. So automatically they can attend the shortage of fuel in the equipments, then equipment failures, then weathering conditions, any mishap on field. The contractor must need to report the consultant in case of any work delay. So these are also main things in the construction. These are the usual problems for the contractors. Project inspector, meanwhile, member of the consultant always remain on site for the quality assurance and monitoring of safety factors. The quality assurance and quality control and environmental health and safety are also the contractor's responsibility. So the contractors team also carrying the quality control department, safety department also. If you go to the Gulf countries, in Indian country, we are having only the most of the company having the quality control department. If it is the German company or France company, along with that quality control department, quality assurance department also been there. Quality assurance fully they concentrate how you are going to assure the quality in the activities. Okay. And EHS, environmental health safety systems, also the environmental responsibility. Before the starting of any new work, the contractor is bound to have a consultant sign on the check request. So without his permission, no work can be started on the field. He only signs the check request after all the test results comes positive, when he is completely satisfied by the contractor's work. See, and one more thing I want to say, safety department also been there in contractors divisions. Apart from that, you have to get from the sign in client side, client engineering sides also, client engineering divisions also you have to get signed. The IPC reports, there might be a number of IPC reports. IPC stands for interim payment certificate. It's the demand of money by the contractor to the client after the completion of the amount of work mentioned in the contract. So that means interim payment certificate in the sense after completing some progress, they must get some amount, right? So usually in construction, every 15 days, the company has to, that means the client has to give the amount, bill amount to the contractors. That is the usual thing. Some in big companies and according with that mutual agreement, according with that contractual agreement, after 25% this much amount will be given by the client company, like that. And all they has been made in the contractual agreements. According with that contractual agreements, the payment has to be settled. That is the interim payment certificate. Substantial completion. Once the project is sufficiently complete, the contractor will ask the architect to conduct a substantial completion inspection to confirm that the work is complete in most respects. Contractor implies that the work is complete enough for the owner to occupy the facility and start using it, even though there might be cosmetic and minor work yet to be completed. Punch list of incomplete portions of the work to be completed. The punch list, which is prepared by the contractor, is used by the engineer as checklist to review all work. Not merely the incomplete portions of the work. That means punch list is nothing but what all the works has been completed, right? That has been in the checklist point of view, quality control checklist point of view, or you can, the client can check it when the work has been happened. Suppose the checklist is nothing but if any legal issues arises, right, when the work has been completed, which date the work has been completed, who have signed in that particular work, and all they has been checked through the checklist. Post construction phase, certificate of final completion. After the contractor carries out all the corrective work identified during the substantial completion inspection and so informs the architect carries out the final inspection of the project. If the final inspection passes, certification for final payment is issued by the architect, which entitles the contractor to receive the final payment from the owner. Record documents, as-built documents. Minor changes are often made during the construction of a project. So always See, whatever the records we can keep, the contractor can keep, they can keep. That means some minor corrections will be there. So already we have discussed now the revisions. A number of revision drawings will come to the site. So that revisions has to be recorded in the ledger. So, so not only that revisions that has to be recorded in the ledger. Other than that, changes must be recorded for the benefit of the owner. Should the owner wish to alter or expand the building in the future. So before entering the pre-project phase, you must see one technical video. Are you able to see my desktop you have shared?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, for 1 second, pa. நான் பண்ணிருக்கேன். Hello, sorry, pa. Some your senior students has been we have conducted exams now. Due to that, the exams we have conducted no. According with that, some disturbance came. So that link you can refer it later on. See, actually the problem is if we miss our class, we can't compensate. So that is what I am taking. Okay, don't think that I am making hurry burry. Otherwise, we won't get the time also. The thing is that I have to send the materials also. In the meantime, you have to take some seminars also. You have to decide according with your interesting topic. You just choose it. Later on, you must take the seminar. Seminar also you having marks. Okay, pa. So pre-project phase. So usually, whatever the project it may be, especially in construction industry, whatever the project it may be, three phases will be there. That means it is a boot project. One is the pre-construction phase. Second is the construction phase. Third one is the post-construction phase. So within each phase, there are sub phases will be there. So pre-construction stage, before starting the construction, what we will do so that master schedule, master work schedule will be there, master plans will be there, which method we are going to follow for the throughout the constructions, the conceptual designs and all coming under in the pre-construction stage. You know, while constructing stage also, so in every stage, especially in construction stage also, drawings has to be revised. In post construction stage, the documentation has to be verified and cross checked. These are the main things happening in the projects. So pre-construction phase, especially in the pre-construction phase, concept, feasibility, design are the important content in the pre-construction phase. Pre-construction determines the ultimate outcome of a project. At this stage, construction contracting methodology must be determined. Construction phase, the client's responsibility is to address why the project is necessary, prepare a functional program, determine how will it be funded. So that means how much flats, for example, if you are going to do the multi-construction, multi-storied building, how many plants will be there, what is the site area, what is the built-up area, everything has to be mentioned in that. So what is the unique in the project, why the project has to be doing, like that has to be mentioned in the pre-construction phase. The responsibility has been taken by the client. So prepare a functional program. So how it is going, how the work is going to be achieved. Hierarchy order also has to be prepared. Hierarchy order, that means how many project managers, how many assistant project manager, how many project engineers, how many senior site engineers, how many site engineers, how many supervisors has to be mentioned in this pre-construction phase. Determine how will it be funded. So pre-construction phase, at the conclusion of the pre-construction phase, the following must be confirmed: scope, cost, timing. So throughout the work, how many activities will be coming, what are the methodologies you are going to be follow, what are the methodologies, what are the testing has to be followed in the quality control department, everything coming under in the scope. Cost throughout the project, how much cost it has to, how much cost it required. Then timing, daily timing, when it going to start, when it going to end. That also coming in the pre-construction phase. Not only the daily timing, throughout the construction timing, throughout the project timing, when it is going to start, when it is going to end, has to become. So what is the purpose? Answer the whys of your project, the least expensive stage of construction. Design, functional program, list all your needs which will fulfill the purpose. Translate the functional program into a space plan. So scheduling has to be shown. So without planning and scheduling, you can't achieve your project without completing your project within the time. So especially at this point, actually in pre-construction phase, major contents are concept, feasibility, design. So at this point, the guidance of an architect or project manager could be helpful, as it would expedite the process by providing professional advice and technical expertise. A technical study is conducted to determine viability, cost, options, identification of constraints, schedule. So that viability, in the example, which type of soil, that is, which foundation we can go to handle in that constructions areas. The cost has to be studied. Options, which type of methodology we can follow, which type of workmanship, which type of contractors we can follow, like that we can find out in the technical study. Then identification of constraints. So many constraints are there already. We have seen the labor absenteeism, labor strike, empty of fuel, equipments repair, weathering conditions, cyclones, rains, other than that accident, and also schedules. Schedule also important. So this phase usually cost around 1% to 2% of the project cost. So especially in this pre-construction stage, we are doing that estimation, preliminary estimations. We have to do some concepts analysis, which concepts we are going to carry out the constructions, which feasibility methods we are going to carry out, the what design we are going to be following it. So everything coming under in the pre-construction stage. That is a overall idea of the project. So we can take in account that overall idea of the project. For that, how much cost we are going to spend, for that how much planning we need to focus, everything coming under in the pre-construction stage. So that cost around only 1% to 2% of the project cost. So purpose of the feasibility study, determine what needs to be done to deliver the project. What will it cost? It's fulfilling the purpose viable under the constraints. What options are available to make it viable? So these things are all after entering in construction only you come to know elaborately. Now so that is what I have told. Know the hierarchy, employment. So how many, according to that project says, how many project managers, that employee detail has to be making the chart. If you go to a big MNC company, after entering in the site office, so you can see that charts, work employees charts has been there. That cost. In always in the pre-construction phase, the one cost we can fix it. After the works going on, the years will be going on. So instead of 1 year, the work may be taken 1.5 years, 2 years, or 3 years also maybe come, due to that rocky soils. Instead of the normal soil, if rocky soil is there, rocky surface is there, for that drilling we needed. For the drilling we need more cost. So suppose if you not put in full cost to demolish the rocky surfaces, the work will be getting slow. So due to that, the cost will be getting increased. I am telling one example. So if you're taking any site, so many constraints will be there. We can't predict in few cases. Especially these things are general. Rock and rocky surface, rocky soil will be there, means rocky surface will be there, means hard soil means you have to drill it out. For that it needs some time. So if you influence more drilling equipments there itself, means you have to spend more cost. Likewise, these are the main things. So suppose if the site is not having proper access, it takes some cost to complete the work as early as possible. So these are the examples. Is fulfilling the purpose viable under the constraints. So all the construction constraints has been satisfied or not, you have to be check it. So what options are available to make it viable? So if access is not there, earthen road minimum you have to make it, or otherwise waterborne macadam road you have to make it, or bituminous road you have to make it, which is giving profit for your construction directly or indirectly. That has to be finalized in the pre-construction phase. So whatever I am telling the example, you can incorporate wherever it is possible. Then design, schematic design, design development, construction documents. Where the project begins to take shape, now is the time to make the right decision. So in this design phase, in this design, schematic designs, design development, construction documents will be there. During this stage, a monitoring of the design against the approved budget is essential. Milestone dates must be established and met. Logistics and schedule must be worked out. So whatever the design drawings result from the structural consultant as well as the architectural consultant, you have to check with the budget. So for that only the planning engineers, costing engineers will be there inside. Especially costing engineers has to be check the cost aspects according with the drawings, whether it's meets the budget or whether it's exceeding the budget. They has to be check it. So for that the planning engineers has to be fix the milestone dates. So for that they has to think about the resource allocations. So some days the work not be happen properly, some days the work output will not be more. So for that also you have to be compensate in some other days. Instead of 5 masons, you have to put 10 masons or something has to be allocated in the resources. It may be in Primavera software, it may be in MS Project, or it may be in Excel also. So for that, what are the requirements you needed? Main materials, machinery, money, methodologies, and schedule has to be worked out. Qualified project or construction manager has the expertise to undertake this task. And the design tendering documents also there. Tendering documents is nothing but is the contract documents. In the document specifications, already we have discussed about the specifications, what type of workmanship, what mixed purposes, what type of material that is has to be mentioned in the specifications. General specifications also there, detailed specifications also there. General conditions, suppose if the contractors breach the contractor, suppose the contractor breach the contract, what they will pay the penalty, that also coming under the general conditions. So the drawings has to be attached in the tendering documents, which kind of work they are going to be take over. So architectural drawings, structural drawing, shuttering drawing has to be attached in the tender documents. Instructions to bidders, security money deposit, yearly money deposits also been mentioned in the instructions to bidders. When the work going to be started, when the work going to be end also be mentioned in the instructions. Then addenda also be attached in the tendering documents. In tendering, design or build or build. Design, build, build. The work is tendered to general contractors. Construction management plays a vital role in this tendering area. The construction manager tenders the work on behalf of the client to qualified trade contractors. So the instead of the construction managers, if you go to the government sector, chief engineers has to be tenders the work on behalf of government, like that. So during the construction phase, focus on material procurement, labor resources are secondary. So in the, especially in the construction phase, first one is the pre-construction phase, second one is the construction phase. So in the construction phase, especially you have to focus on the material procurement. Material procurement is nothing but what are the materials you need for the construction, that has to be arrived by the store department, and that store department has to be give the requirement to the purchase department. The store department got the requirement from the particular engineers and the project engineers. So the purchase department also cross check with the engineering divisions whether you need this much material or like that. They has been verified with the corresponding engineers, and they has to be raise the purchase. They has to be purchase raisement has to be made by the purchase department. So what are the materials ordered, right? Whether the vendor able to send the materials as early as possible or not has to be checked by the purchase department. So when we receiving the quotations from the vendors itself, the purchase department works has to be started. There has to be which vendor giving less amount, which vendor quote less amount, that has to be checked by the purchase department, and also the vendor's previous records also be checked by the purchase department. According with that only, they will be choose the vendors to give the vendors supply the materials to the construction. That is also a general thing. So after receiving the materials, the store department has to follow the ABC analysis. That means according with the value of the materials. High cost materials has to be keep in separate rack, that is coming in under in the A category. B category, medium value cost of materials coming under in the B category. C category, materials is nothing but more items will be there, but their cost will be less, so that is coming under in the C category. So this is one type. Another one type, whatever the materials or equipment tools we are receiving from the vendors, right, we have to stock in the fast moving materials, slow moving materials, non moving materials, like that we have to segregate the materials and tools in different areas. So FSN analysis also been followed in the procurement area. So the other than that, what are the materials received from the vendors, right, that has to be feed in the computer systems, that also be keep in the records also, ledgers also. Other than that, whatever the material we are stacking, right, there itself the label has to be keep it what the material it is, that has to be keep in the stocking areas. Other than that, the cement bag should not keep more than 1 meter height. So several methodologies we have to follow in the procurement areas. Procurement is nothing but when we ordering the materials, right, from that onwards, whenever we receiving the materials from the vendor side, up to that the works will be there in procurement. After receiving the materials also, how much stock is in store, that also be tracking in the procurement department. So 15 days prior itself, you have to purchase the materials. Advance stock has to be in the store yard. This also main works in the procurement. Communication and planning are more important than the technical aspects of the physical construction. Monitoring of progress is required to ensure the budget is not being exceeded, the schedule is on track, the defined scope of work is not being compromised. Post construction phase. So this is the in the post construction phase. After completing the construction, whatever the deficiencies there, the contractor company has to complete the deficiencies. Suppose in some areas cracks will be there, some patching work will be there, that has to be considered by the contracting company. Completion of a deferred work, then issuance of close out documents for the owner's use, commencement of the warranty period, release of statutory holdback funds. More video for the pre-project phase in construction. Already we have seen, right, pre-project phase in construction. See, actually in here we have discussed about a pre-phase construction phase, then post-construction phase we have discussed. According with your syllabus point of view, pre-project phase only is there. But anyway, you must see that 3 topics that will be helpful for you. For avoiding conflicts, you must see that 3 subcontents. So next is selection of project delivery system. Selection of project delivery system is nothing but, so the design build systems also coming under in the project delivery system. So before seeing this topic, you must see the subject relevant video. Okay, Pa. Remaining things we will see in the next class. Before coming, Okay, we will see in the next class, Pa.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.